All right, so we're back and ready for another deep dive. Today we're going global. We're talking all things entertainment news straight from February 21st, 2025.
Buckle up.
Yeah, seriously, this stuff is juicy. We've got reports coming in from all corners of the world. And let me tell you, the entertainment industry is a whirlwind right now.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
For sure. We're talking about streaming wars heating up, some interesting power shifts behind the scenes, and of course, all the must-watch content coming our way.
What's striking me is just how fast everything's moving. I mean, seems like every day there's a new headline that could totally change how we experience stories.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, take Netflix, for example. They're making some seriously bold moves. We're talking $1 billion committed to film and TV production in Mexico.
Yeah, that's a huge investment. And it's not just about the money. It feels like they're really trying to tap into the global market, recognizing that great stories can come from anywhere.
Totally. I mean, the Netflix CEO even made the announcement with the Mexican president right there. That's a pretty big statement, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a clear sign they're serious about this partnership.
But hey, it's not all sunshine and roses for Netflix. Remember that lawsuit? The one where they're accused of misleading investors about losses connected to Disney+.
Oh, right, that one.
Well, it's moving forward. The accusation is basically that Netflix downplayed how much Disney Plus was impacting their subscribe numbers, to make yourselves look better.
Ah, I see. Yeah, the streaming wars are no joke. High stakes, for sure. Netflix is fighting tooth and nail to stay on top, and even a hint of trouble can spook investors.
Exactly, and all that pressure might be leading to some tough choices. Like, they also just canceled Territory, that show.
Territory. Rings a bell.
It was huge in Australia and New Zealand. Even made it onto Netflix's global top 10 list.
Wow, seriously. And they still canceled it.
Seems like popularity isn't always enough, right?
Guess not. Makes you wonder what goes into those decisions. I mean, it can't just be about how many people watch.
Right? There's got to be more to it, like maybe projected viewership over time, production costs, who knows?
Data-driven, for sure.
Well, Netflix is all in on these big productions. Some other streaming services are taking a different route, like Viaplay switching gears and focusing on unscripted stuff. Reality shows.
Oh, interesting. Like a total shins in strategy.
Yeah, it's a pretty stark contrast, don't you think?
For sure. It really shows you how different these streaming services are approaching this whole game.
It's like they're trying to figure out their own path in this crazy competitive world.
Makes sense. And reality TV can be way cheaper to produce, too. Probably a smart move if you're watching your budget.
Right. And then there's Roku. They just snagged their very first exclusive live and simulcast deal.
Oh, really? What for?
Get this, American Idol.
American Idol. Wow, didn't see that coming. Roku, like Roku, the device company.
Yep. But now they're making a play for streaming content. Makes you think, right?
Definitely. Like, are they trying to become a major player in streaming now, too? Things are about to get even more interesting.
Totally agree. And think about it, live content on a streaming platform. Could this be the start of a bigger trend?
It's possible. Viewers might start expecting more live events, more interactive experiences. Who knows? Definitely something to keep an eye on. Makes you wonder if traditional broadcasters will start, clamping down on their content.
Oh, you mean like making it exclusive to their own platforms?
Exactly. Could totally change how we watch live events.
It's true, this whole streaming landscape is like a constantly moving target. But let's switch gears for a sec. Let's talk true crime.
Oh, okay.
So there's this criminology professor, David Wilson, and he's calling for a big change in how true crime is presented. Less sensationalism, more honesty.
I can see that. Like, more focus on the facts, less on the hype.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of ties into this whole trend of wanting authenticity, right? Audiences are getting smarter, more critical. They want content that respects the victims and actually offers some real insight.
Totally agree. It's not just about the shock value anymore.
What about you? What do you find most interesting in true crime? Is it the puzzle, the psychology, or something else altogether?
Tough question. I think for me, it's the human element. Understanding what motivates people, the choices they make.
I get that. For me, it's the documentaries that really dig deep. The ones that don't exploit the victims.
Yeah, definitely. Like investigative journalism, but in a documentary format.
Right. Okay, enough true crime for now. Let's move on to some stuff we should be watching.
Sounds good.
First up, David Suchet. He's back.
No way. Seriously.
Yeah. He's starring in this new thriller on Channel 5 called The Abia Pair.
The Abia Pair. What's it about?
Mystery, family secrets, all that good stuff. Sounds pretty captivating.
I bet. Suchet's amazing. He brings this intensity to every role he plays.
And for something based on a true story, you got to check out Toxic Town on Netflix.
Toxic Town? Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's about this huge environmental scandal in Corby, UK. Toxic waste, birth defects, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow. Heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's got a pretty incredible cast, too. Jodie Whittaker, Robert Carlyle.
Oh, wow, serious star power.
And it just goes to show how entertainment can shine a light on important issues, right?
For sure. Toxic Town could really make people think about environmental responsibility. Even fictionalized accounts can have a real impact.
Right, time for some behind-the-scenes action, ready for some power shifts.
Hit me.
Amazon now has creative control over James Bond.
Wait, what? James Bond? Seriously?
Yep, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, the longtime producers, are stepping back.
Wow. That's huge. Amazon's got deep pockets, global reach. Could mean big changes for the franchise.
Right? I mean, will they stick with the classic Bond formula or go for something completely different? Who knows?
It's almost like, are we going to see more of this, big tech companies taking over these iconic franchises?
It's a possibility, right? And on that note, Sony Pictures Television just promoted 2 new co-presidents of distribution. Seems like global reach is everything these days.
Makes sense. Content's crossing borders more than ever. These new co-presidents, they've got a big job ahead of them.
They do. And speaking of global, let's talk about some upcoming events. Series Mania 2025 is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, Series Mania. I've heard about that.
Masterclasses from industry giants, premieres from all over the world. Thousands of professionals coming together.
It's like a melting pot of creativity.
Exactly. Festivals like this are so important. Collaboration, showcasing new talents, spotting trends.
It's where the magic happens. Fresh ideas, new voices, keeps the whole industry moving forward.
And we can't forget about the London TV screenings.
Right. Another big one.
Companies like Bandy J and Warner Brothers, they're all going to be there unveiling their latest and greatest.
It's so cool to see the range of content being created. Documentaries, comedies, dramas. There's seriously something for everyone.
It's incredible, right? And it just shows how much this industry is adapting and evolving. Like, who would have thought streaming would become this massive, complex ecosystem?
It's crazy. I remember when streaming first started, it felt like the Wild West. And it's only going to get more complex, right? I mean, what's next? Is virtual reality going to take over?
Ooh, that's a good question. Or maybe like super personalized content curated by algorithms.
It's mind-blowing to think about. Or what about like a resurgence of community-driven stories, like bringing back that shared experience?
So many possibilities. It's exciting and kind of scary all at the same time, right? But before we go full sci-fi on you, let's take a step back and recap what we've uncovered in this deep dive.
Okay, sounds good. Where do we even begin?
Well, we saw how the big players, like Netflix, are making these strategic plays to conquer the global market. $1 billion in Mexico, remember?
Yeah, that was huge. But then there's Viaplay taking a completely different approach, focusing on like reality TV and stuff.
Right. And it's not just about the streaming wars either. There's this growing demand for authenticity. People want real stories.
Absolutely. And not just in true crime, but across the board. Audiences are craving substance over spectacle these days.
Couldn't agree more. And behind the scenes, things are shifting too. We've got tech giants like Amazon stepping in, taking control of iconic franchises like James Bond.
Yeah, that was a big one. It really makes you think about the future of entertainment.
Big time. But then you've got all this incredible energy coming from festivals like Series Mania and the London TV screening, all these amazing creators from around the world coming together, sharing their stories.
It's like a constant flow of new ideas, fresh perspectives. Keeps things interesting.
And at the end of the day, it's us, the audience, that drives it all.
That's true. What we watch, how we engage, the stories we demand, that's what shapes the future of entertainment.
So as you explore this wild world of movies, shows, and everything in between, remember, your choices matter. Stay curious, stay engaged, and keep seeking out those stories that speak to you. You might just stumble upon the next big thing, or even become part of the movement that shapes the future of entertainment. Until next time, happy watching.